日本時間4月24日、グラスノー投手の圧巻の好投で3対0で勝利を飾ったドジャース。この日の試合前に、各米メディアでは、前日に大谷選手の連続出塁が途切れるも、今季から二刀流に本格復帰し、投手として圧倒的な活躍を見せているドジャースの大谷翔平選手について語りました。また、米番組インテンショナルトークでは解説を務めるライアン・デンプスター氏が、番組のテロップが大谷の疑惑の連続出塁と書いてあることに気づき爆笑し、番組に批判をたくさん送ってくださいと呼びかける場面も。ここからはその様子を字幕付きでご紹介します。
Bay streak snapped last night, going 0 for 4. But now that he's pitching and hitting for a full season for the first time as a Dodger, Jerry, it's worth pointing out that outside of his heroic performance in Game 4 of the NLCS, his offensive numbers are significantly lower on days when he pitches, and that continued.
Yeah, I mean, that sometimes really is to be expected because he's exerting so much energy on the mound. You know, pitching 6, 7 innings, throwing about 95 to 110 pitches a start. Getting at-bats, sometimes 4 or 5 at-bats in a game, you're not going to be as fresh or feel as strong. So that is to be expected. Now, there are other circumstances like adrenaline when it happens in the postseason, and we saw it last year in the NLCS where he dominated on the mound and also hit 3 tape measure shots. So I know we discussed it a couple days ago. Yeah. Will he, take a couple days throughout the season? I think that's a strong possibility. But make no mistake about it. When the playoff starts, he's starting on the mound. He's also swinging the bat.
Yeah, when we had that discussion, you brought up a great point that in the postseason, he's going to do both. You're not going to just say, okay, when he's pitching, he's not going to be in the lineup like we're doing all season long. So at some point during the season, you're going to have to continue because you can't just flip that switch in the postseason. So that makes a great point. But at the same time, too, you do have to look at it. And I think there's a large sample size when you look at maybe his numbers now on the days he pitches, his offensive aren't Shohei-esque. Doesn't mean they're bad, but they're just not Shohei-esque. And at the same time, what does that toll in the long, over the course of a long season take on his body? So obviously they'll look at it, they'll see it, and they also have a lineup where they can give him some days when he's just not to DH on the days he's pitching. So they have that, and I'm sure they're looking at how that might play out over the course of the season.
And they'll be looking at how he does today after pitching and hitting last night. The Dodgers do have a few guys that have good numbers against him, including Shohei Ohtani, who's hitting .364 against Webb with a pair of home runs. Jerry, one of those bombs landed in the water in San Francisco.
You know, John and Nomar, I'm so glad you guys brought that up. I really love this home run, and we're going to go to the wall. Fans, walk with me here, okay? You guys sit right here. We're going to break this down, Access 360 style. Let me jog over here. I don't want to get hurt. Jog over here, a little left-handed swing. The Big Show is going to get a cutter, center cut, and he's not going to miss it. Foot down, head down on contact, barrel release. 91 coming in, about 112 going out. And yes, we have splash down. Just love that swing from the Big Show. He looks so good in the batter's box with that foot down and letting that bat head fly. One more look at it, head down on contact. The exit velo about 106 miles an hour. Look at that swing, great finish. He knew right away, instantly, that was a bomb. And that is the ideal launch angle at 30 degrees. No, Mars, you know this in San Francisco. If that launch angle is anywhere 28 degrees or below, that is not going out. You got a little splash landing there in the bay. I'm hoping now Shohei does this very same thing today.
Yeah, you know I'm worried about the degree of launch angle. You know that's a big thing, so I'm always focused on that. But at the same time, the other key thing to Shohei Ohtani, and especially on a guy like Webb, is really for him is keeping that front shoulder closed. That's really going to be the key for him. When he is swinging right, the front shoulder stays closed just a tad bit longer. When he finds himself in trouble, and even against guys like Logan Webb and guys who have a sinker that is going away from Ohtani, he has a tendency where the hip and the front shoulder leak at the same time. When they go at the same time, then all of a sudden the bat comes with him and he can't reach that ball on the outer half or as that ball is tailing away from him. But when he is keeping that front shoulder, listen, the front hip, that can open up, that natural, because you want to clear that. But when the front shoulder stays closed just a hair longer, he's able to stay on balls. That's when we see him driving the ball the opposite direction, but also staying on balls that have a tendency to tail away from his barrel, and he stays on them longer. So hopefully we see a lot of that today.
Yeah.
He's thinking more up the middle, driving it, because we know he can turn on it and make a splash out there in no time.
Rudy Jaramillo, one of the greatest hitting coaches of all time. I know you know Rudy. He would always say your hands need to lead you out. If that front shoulder leads first, your hands and the bat will drop. Your hands lead you, keeping that shoulder square, and then you release at the same time. That's where Shohei Ohtani really gets his power.
Continue to check in on the NL West, where Ohtani ended his on-base streak. Nevertheless, he threw 6 scoreless innings, but went 0 for 4 at the plate. You got to break this down for me, Dan. Did he just want to hunt down Kevin Millar's record? What happened there?
That has to be it. That has to be it. I think, you know, that's a daunting task to chase any record. You think about the great streaks out there, Cal Ripken Jr. being the one that'll never be broken. Probably Mickey Mantle, right? I mean, Joe DiMaggio, 56-game hitting streak, never be chased. To chase down a legend like Kevin Millar, you know, the last 20 seasons, him, and for Shohei to show up every single day and to have that on his shoulders and to know, right, every time he turned on this show and he's in the locker room or he's at home and on day off and he's watching Intentional Talk and he's like, one day, like he's looking up at the TV, one day, I'm going to catch the great Kevin Millar. And for him to finally do that, what a relief. First of all, congratulations if you count it, you know, because I personally think it has to all be in 1 year. But also,
did you see
congratulations
the graphic?
to just getting over that hump. What's the graphic?
Wait, you can't see it.
Ohtani's fake on-base streak. It's a hard thing. It's just not meant for everybody. I get it. I mean, think about it. Sin-Soo Choo did this back in 2018, 11 years later, and it was such a daunting task. He couldn't overcome it. He couldn't pass Kevin. And for Ohtani, just to get past Kevin had to be probably as emotionally draining as winning the World Series last year and going through that Game 7 and having to deal with all that. So I get it. You can start another streak sometime down the road. He probably doesn't even want to. It's been so stressful for him. No. And now he can focus on other things like going out there and trying to win the Cy Young in the National League.
If you're upset about this, okay, if you're upset about this, you can send all hate mail to daniel.camiotti at mlbnetwork.com.
Fill his inbox. Let's go.
The other part of this game is obviously Shohei Ohtani, who had his consecutive games of on-base streak. That ended with an offer. Ends at 53 games, which I believe is 5 shy of Duke Snider's franchise record. But on the mound, he was incredible again. 4th straight start that he goes 6 innings, shutout baseball, lowered his ERA to 0.38 through 4 starts. How close is he to being the best starter in the National League?
I mean, just off the top of my head, he's top 5 already. You know, I think there's some guys. I think his teammate is probably one of them that I would say is on par, or maybe a little bit better than him, Yamamoto. And then you go Skeens, probably Christopher Sanchez. And then you're like, it's like, I don't know, maybe you could throw somebody else in there with him, but that's how good he is, Chris. And it's crazy to say that. It's like, I don't take it for granted, but sometimes I feel like I do because we talk about him as a hitter so much, but then you see him on the mound and he's just that good as well on the other side of the ball. It's truly special what we're watching because it's not like it's the same thing as a hitter. Like he's got pop, but he's also a good hitter. And then with the pitching side, he's got raw, pure stuff, but he's also a good pitcher. It's like he just does everything well. And when you really start, like, I don't ever really go in and like research the pitching side of Ohtani. Like every time we're doing something on the show, it's like about his hitting, his homers, whatever. You sit down and start to look at some of these numbers and, you know, where he ranks and just, you know, the amount of pitches that he throws and the fact that he's striking out like a third of batters he's facing throughout his career. It's everything about it is nutty. So I'm going to give him top 5 in the National League, no doubt. And I wouldn't be mad if someone said top 3.
Yeah, I think last week we discussed whether or not we thought he'd have a shot at the Cy Young. He could. I don't know if he's going to log enough innings because Dave Roberts now twice this year including yesterday, has talked about, as Dan likes to put it in the title of the show, Shohei's load management. And I think part of it is limiting his innings even when he's pitching well. Like the one thing Shohei said after last night's start was, hey, look, I was pleased to go 6 shutout innings, which is great, but I really wanted to get through 7. And I think that even when he's throwing the ball well, if he's kind of in that 88 to 92 pitch range, they're going to say, we got to throttle you back, bro. Like, we need you healthy for October and ready to go. And that's when we can unleash the monster. So it basically feels like instead of 5 and fly, it's going to be like 6 and I don't have a word to rhyme with it. But I think that's the way it's going to go for him.
Yeah, I mean, I know that he wants to win the Cy Young, obviously, but you're right. Like in a 6-man rotation, getting pulled early. I'm trying to think about. So in 2023, he threw 23 games, 132 innings pitched. I mean, what do you think his inning count is this year?
Oh boy.
If he stays healthy, makes all starts, it's probably somewhere around like 150 innings, which I don't think would get the job done.
I think he maxes out at 160, 165 tops. I mean, that is tops. That's if you throw a few 7s in there. But there's going to be games where he goes 5. Might be one where he goes 4, right? It's just where he doesn't have it and they're like, "Okay, it's a hot July day. Let's call it. We'll cover you the rest of the way." But yeah, I mean, stuff-wise and as far as talent, and he will, I think, I'm going to say right now, he will finish top 5 Cy Young. It'll be a second one of those.
Yeah.
I think. Although
do you have
Yamamoto
above him as like a starting pitcher?
I think in terms of who I would like to have start the game, yes. Yeah.
They're so close, though, which is crazy.
Yeah. Because I don't see Yamamoto grabbing a bat anytime soon.
No. Yamamoto's a stud, though.
Stud.
Like, he gave 3 against the Giants first inning, then ends up going 7, and that's all he gives up. Like, that's to me, the mark of a real, like, a guy you want on the mound is someone that could give up some runs early and then figure it out and then get through 7. That's it.
Let's see here. Ohtani, 25 strikeouts in his 24 innings worked. I was just doing a little work on Skeens. How many strikeouts do you think he has this season?
Skeens?
Mm-hmm.
How many games has he thrown? 5? 35.
Would it shock you if I told you 23?
Yes.
Yeah. I know.
Huh.
Strange.
Maybe on purpose.
By the way, opponents are hitting just $141 against Shohei. いかがでしたでしょうか。このチャンネルでは日本人メジャーリーガーなどを中心に野球情報をお届けしています。この動画が良かったら高評価、チャンネル登録をよろしくお願いいたします。今回も最後までご覧いただきありがとうございました。それではまた次の動画でお会いしましょう。